Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We're going to wait a couple more minutes for people to join and then get this morning started. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I think we are just about to get started here. Thank you for your patience this morning. Just a mic check real quick. Can everyone hear me? I think so. So welcome. I'm going to stop sharing the slides. Okay. Can everyone hear me? Can everyone see me? Let's see here. Okay, great. Well, welcome this morning, everyone, to our fourth annual Conflict Resolution Youth Symposium. This year has been a difficult year, right? All of us have been dealing with a year that, where we're working through a global pandemic. We're dealing with issues of racial injustice and inequity. We're dealing with other healthcare and economic issues. And we're coming here today to provide an opportunity for our youth and educators, as well, and a few community members to come and talk about what it looks like to be resilient and to overcome adversities, and how that helps us to become stronger and helps us to develop. My name is Ty Olson. I am the program manager at Tri-C in the Conflict Resolution and Peace Studies program. I have the pleasure of being your MC for the day. I have a few things I want to touch on before we get this event started. We have a great lineup today. Everyone should have received an email with your program with links to the different sessions that you are able to join. We're starting here just after 8:45 and we'll be ending at noon promptly. This morning we have, for our welcome, we will have a keynote group of presenters from EYEJ that we'll be sharing shortly. And then we have a couple of breakout session options following this. In the middle of today's program, we have a mindfulness session, which you all have received a link for if you signed up for it. As well, we have an educator session. So many of you educators opted in to be a part of the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio's educator session. And then we'll end the day at 11 during the last session at 11:20 with Archie Green from Hildem Lairs back and some final comments. Today, my hope for you all is that this is edifying and this is restorative, and this opportunity and these sessions provide you all with a chance to reflect, to learn some new insights and skills for navigating this difficult period of life that we're in. There's a couple more things I'll just touch on briefly. One, students, I'll be reiterating this later on in the day, as will the hosts of today's session, but there's an opportunity to participate in a virtual scavenger hunt throughout today. You should have received a link in your email program. It's towards the bottom. Fill that out, take a look at it this morning, jot down the different questions, and then fill that scavenger hunt out by the beginning of next week. If you do and you submit it, I think by midnight on Monday, you have a chance to win one of 10 different prize bundles that are coming to you, sponsored by the Cleveland Foundation's Common Ground Initiative. The top prizes for that are a couple of Beats Solo Pro headphones with noise canceling technology. They're wireless, so they'll be the top prizes. As well, other people will have opportunities to win hydro flasks or other wireless headphones, as well as journals and water bottles. So make sure you're paying attention to that. Make sure you submit it before Monday at midnight, and we'll be doing the drawing for that at the end of next week. I have just a couple of thank yous, and then I'm going to turn it over. We had this year, with everything going on, as you know, it's difficult to organize an event. Virtual events are even more difficult. So I want to just send out a big thank you to all the committee members that helped make today possible. I won't name everyone by name because there's a lot of you, but I want to say a special thanks to Stephanie Thompson with the Cleveland Foundation, Dahlia Fisher with the Maltz Museum, Kay Graves with the Diversity Center, as well as Courtney Clark at Tri-C, and last but not least, Antonio Sanford at Cleveland Metropolitan School District. If it wasn't for all of you, this day couldn't happen. So thank you for all your support. Enough of me talking. I do want to say a quick couple of words before I introduce our next group of speakers. From EYEJ, Empowering Youth and Exploring Justice. I've had the pleasure of working with EYEJ I think beginning around 3 or 4 years ago, and just really seeing their organization grow and develop and impact youth in a positive way. They do a lot of different programs, but at the heart of what EYEJ is about is empowering youth and advocating for justice. So today we have the pleasure of hearing from several of the youth that are involved with EYEJ. I'm going to start by handing it over to Jasna. Jasna is a sophomore at Case Western Reserve University studying neuroscience and political science, and one day is hoping to pursue a career in medicine and research. Without any further ado or whatever, I'm going to hand you all over to Jasna. Jasna, welcome.
Hello, everyone. As Ty said, my name is Asani. I'm a 19-year-old sophomore at Case Western Reserve University. Moreover, I'm the EYEJ policy lead. Firstly, I wanted to say I'm honored to speak in front of you all today. I truly believe discussions such as these are vital to the betterment of our health and our communities. That being said, we all know the world has been faced with adversity for centuries, from toxic stress to inequality and much more. However, not many individuals are aware and understand the impact of these various issues. Even in our Cleveland community, so many people are blinded by the difficulties that surround them. Moreover, people are blinded by the lack of self-love. From various sources that I basically Googled, says that self-love is simply a state of feeling good. It's a state of appreciation of oneself that grows from one's action that supports our physical, psychological, and spiritual self-growth. Simply, self-love is dynamic. It grows from our actions and matures us. I know I just threw a definition at you, but I truly believe that EYEJ is a propelling force that advocates for self-love and much more. I know that EYEJ is a propelling force that combats for many prevalent issues that I've discussed in our community. And in fact, it creates a positive environment that promotes the self-love. EYEJ, Empowering Youth and Exploring Justice, is what it stands for. This organization's title itself, as we see, is a propelling force that is the youth. They are the ones that are creating the change that this community deserves. EYEJ creates leaders that will stand for justice and equality. However, as a youth myself, I would like to explain to you all the great power of EYEJ and how it can promote growth and resiliency by speaking to you all how this organization, how it came to be, and the impact it created. Firstly, I want to start off with a brief history of how EYEJ has come to be. With the growing concern of prevalence of poverty level living environments and the disconnect between society and resources and the extent of violence among African-American children, it prompted my Moore and the late June Antoni to organize this organization in 2013. EYEJ strives to be a connector between the community and children to provide life skills and personal development tools for some of the most vulnerable youth in the Cleveland Metropolitan School Districts, from the ages from 6th grade to the ages of 25. We at EYEJ care about the youth and their well-being in our community. Of course, they are our next generation. We believe they are our future, the future of our community. We are not about race. But we are about human-to-human connection. We believe our youth will help build solutions for social justice. But I can positively say that EYEJ has a broader impact. It creates resiliency, creativity, leadership, teamwork, and it is a group of change makers. But I've seen from firsthand experience, it's more than that. It creates a sense of family and teamwork. We work together for the same goal, and we create a sense of dependability and also vulnerability. And most importantly, like I've been saying, it creates a sense of self-growth. But to represent all this, EYEJ has designed many projects to dissolve pertinent issues that are in our community. Our goal this year was to focus on the digital divide. Just to give you a brief definition of what the digital divide is, the digital divide refers to the gap between those able to benefit from the digital age and those who are not. How it's in our community is that Cleveland is the worst connected city in the United States. I know that fact is very scary to say, but it's the truth. In fact, 40% of the city of Cleveland youth are not having access to broadband internet. Why does this matter to youth is the main important question. As a youth council member said from EYEJ, internet is oxygen. The biggest question EYEJ has asked is, without internet, how will the youth gain access to vital resources, such as mental health resources, or even education? We have focused our efforts to dissolve this digital divide by focusing on policy, programming, and social policy. Also, we have created two main projects that focus on to dissolve this digital divide. One thing is YODJ. YODJ is Youth Online Discussing Justice, which connects students in 6th grade to 12th with necessary resources for day-to-day life and professionals trained in emotional and learning development. Some topics that are discussed are surrounding toxic stress, violence, conflict resolution, and the future. Moreover, as I've discussed about the Youth Council, I would like to speak more about them. The Youth Council is members who stand for systemic change for the youth. The EYEJ Youth Council was first coveted in 2017. That year, 19 youths from ages 15 to 25 were interviewed and were accepted into this program. Then, as of now, the group's purpose is to give young people a place to assemble and brainstorm solutions to injustice and challenges and other obstructions they and their communities face every day and take action. I would like to now turn to a youth council member, Diamond. She's a 17-year-old senior at John Hay High School. She's a strong advocate for change and mental health. So Diamond, please take it away.
Hi guys, welcome. So as Jasmine said, my name is Diamond Bodison. 17, high school senior at John Hay Early College. And most importantly, I am the EYEJ Youth Council member lead. So I just want to tell a quick life story about my mental health journey and how EYEJ has played a crucial part in it. So when I was about 9 years old, I got molested by someone that was really close to my family friend. And so after this experience, after all this happened to me, I was really down, depressed. Even just at a young age, I was unhappy with myself. I felt disgusted, angry that this happened to me at such a young age. I didn't understand what had happened to me. So I really was fighting, mentally with myself, with my life or whatever on the inside. But on the outside, when I would go to school or be around other family members, I was a happy kid, I got all A's, I made honor roll. I was respectful to, all the adults around me. Like I was just a normal person, but on the inside, I was damaged mentally and I was really messed up. So I would say about a year or two later, EYEJ discussion series came to my school. Discussion series is when trained volunteers come into schools to have open discussions to discuss topics such as toxic stress, conflict resolution, mental health. The list goes on. Some volunteers even tell their own personal stories and their own personal struggles. So when the volunteers that came to talk to me in my class would come in and tell their stories, I really felt touched by what they would say, and their stories was very inspirational, as I felt that they could relate to what I was going through or what my experience of being molested. And I felt like they gave me a voice that I didn't feel like I had at the time. So that's what really drew me to EYJ and what it's about, and its empowerment and giving youth, a voice and somewhere to confide in, some to have a place that you can relate to your struggles. And so over the time, the reason why I joined the youth council was to give back to the youth what was gave to me at, when I was going through my struggles. EYJ has played a crucial part in my mental healing of my past trauma and, the journey that I'm on now. Even speaking about it right now on this platform is still mentally healing me from my past traumas as well. So I want to say to anyone that's going through anything similar that from what I've experienced or from what or not, I want to say that you are not alone. I am here for you. It's plenty more people out there that have gone through, that can understand you. And I want to say seek help. You have to worry about your own mental health. You have to focus on your own mental healing from your past traumas and your struggles that you may be going through now before you can help anyone else. You have to be empowered yourself before you can empower the world. That's what I would say to you. So, up next, it's a video of my fellow youth council members and telling their story with their mental health journey and how EYJ has empowered them.
Thank you, Diamond. One
Thank you.
second, and I'm going to share the video, and we will be hearing from several youth council members that were unable to attend in person this morning, but recorded special presentations for today for you all.
The youth and just make a change. Hi guys, my name is Trey Gray. I am 18 years old and I go to John Hay High School taking CCP classes. I am a part of EYEJ Youth Council and I am a lead. I'm social media and merchandising lead. EYJ has allowed me to accomplish a lot of things, like going down to Columbus to testify against HB 13 bill, advocate for the digital divide in general, and just put forth the work to resolve youth problems. Overall, EYEJ has dramatically improved my mental health, just knowing that I'm able to help people in the youth and just make a change, because one little change does affect more than just, it affects more people than what you would think. And EYEJ has been there, has been my support system. Like anything I need, they're there for me. I can text Mai or call Mai at any point of the day and she'll answer, especially if I really need something. She definitely always has my back, as well as the other with council members. They've definitely helped with depression and isolation by having somebody to be there and to talk to. We have meetings every Sunday. We have meetings outside of that as well. Like if we need something, we make a meeting for it and we make time for each other. And I think that that's a dramatic impact on my mental health, just having somebody to be there, like knowing that there's somebody there for me, even when there's nobody there for me, or even if I feel like there's nobody there for me, I know that they're there for me. And they've taught me how to practice mental health, just mental health, and self-care to empower myself. So I know that Mai taught us how to ground ourselves with a certain exercise. And you know, everybody's there to talk, and like when they tell us to practice mental health, they give us multiple ways to practice it, along with allowing us to know that we are important and that we are making change. That makes me feel really good and know that I am making an impact. And I think that practicing self-care leads to leaders, because if you're not taking care of yourself, then you really can't take care of anybody else. So I know that if I'm helping other people, that myself comes first, and I know that what I'm reflecting onto other people is based on how much I care about myself, if that makes sense. But yeah, you have to know how to take care of yourself in order to put forth the effort to take care of others. So it's really important to take care of yourself and just know that you have people there for you. And I think that EYEJ provides that. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Miranda, and I'm a EYEJ Youth Council member. I'm also a sophomore at Case Western Reserve University. Things during this pandemic haven't been easy, especially when having to do virtual schooling. So, there have been times where my schoolwork prioritized over taking care of myself. For instance, one day I was feeling really stressed out because I barely got a winter break and I had just begun a 3-week class in January. So practicing self-care was the last thing on my to-do list. Right after I had finished my class for the day, I got a group chat message from one of our EYEJ team members in Jolly. She shared a quote that read, "Self-care is not a reward for being productive. Self-care is a reminder that you are valued more than your productivity." That's when I realized how much I've really been putting off self-care. So I decided to give my mind a small break and relax, which meant taking a break from social media, watching a movie, and eating some ice cream. I even went to bed earlier than usual to give my mind and body a head start on getting some rest. Having a community in EYEJ that really cares about your well-being is something that you don't find in most spaces. Furthermore, being in EYEJ has reminded me to balance self-care with my ongoing tasks, and that sometimes taking a break is okay. I'm glad I'm a part of EYEJ. Now I'll turn it to my other youth council member, Irene. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Miranda, for your inspiring story. Hi, everyone. My name is Irene Maguita, and I am a senior in high school in New Jersey, and I am also a youth council member, specifically part of the digital programming team. And so my story starts with the word yes. It's a word I love to say to people when they're like, "Hey, Iruma, could you help me with this certain thing?" Or, "Hey, Iruma, could you read this essay over for me?" Or, "Iruma, you should really take advantage of this particular opportunity because it would be beneficial for you." My instinct is just to say yes. And, the reason I do this is because it's my way of challenging myself. It's my way of kind of going outside my comfort zone. And, that you always say that's a good thing and it's really healthy. You should do that. But I think that over the years, I let that get the better of me. And I started to recognize that by saying yes to someone sometimes meant I'm saying no to myself and saying, "No, Arunima, you can't take that time to learn that song that you've always wanted to sing," or, "No, Arunima, you can't spend that hour on yourself because it's best spent helping others." And so that type of mindset followed me through my junior year of high school, where I took on a lot of advanced placement courses, which frankly I wasn't really prepared to take, where the struggles that I had in those classes really overtook my mental state, and I really couldn't focus on anything else. And I didn't take as many breaks. I didn't eat and drink as much. I didn't engage as much socially. And the worst part of all was like dropping activities that I really enjoyed at one point. And so you might be wondering, well, remember, these are toxic signs. How did you not see them? And the thing is that when you're so deep in, sometimes you can't see those toxic signs. It's only when you take a step back that you can. And so the pandemic, as awful as it is, and as many lives as it's taken, I think that it allowed me to take that one step back, at least in the beginning. And, I got time to take a science of well-being course where I learned about these misconceptions of happiness. So those perfect grades that I thought was going to make me happy, or was going to make me feel smart, and kind of the fact that I could belong in society because of them. those were all materialistic things, along with, things such as having a perfect job or a perfect body, etc. And that I really should have gone for those experiences, such as, talking to my mom for those couple of minutes, or, spending time with my friends and saying yes to that movie, because those are the moments that you really enjoy. And so one of the experiences, though, that I said yes to was joining EYEJ, and I'm so glad that I did, because it kind of took away that frustration that I have, that when I put my effort into something, sometimes I don't see the outcomes, but with EYEJ, I really do, and I see that whatever work I'm doing, it has an outcome, it has lives that it's changing, whether it be big or small, and I want to continue being part of that movement of change makers. So I want to leave you all, I guess, with a couple closing remarks, which is take time for yourself and prioritize the things that, make you happy and kind of satisfy your mental cravings in that sense. And make sure you're in the right mindset, because if you're not in the right mindset, nothing else is going to work right. And by that sense, I don't mean always put yourself first and everyone else comes second or something like that. More just make sure you're in the right mindset before you go out and you try to help others, and make sure you take care of yourself too. And finally, always go for those experiences as opposed to those materialistic things. And say yes to them, and enjoy the journey. Thank you, everyone, and now I will pass it on to our new Youth Council member, Carrington.
Hi everyone, my name is Carrington Hughes, and I am a sophomore at Chicago High School, and I am also part of the EYEJ Youth Council. So today I want to talk a bit about toxic expectations and how it can really affect you. So a little bit of context. During my first year of high school, I found myself constantly wishing for things to go a certain way. I wanted to have the best grades, the best friends, the best experiences, and if it didn't go exactly how I planned, I took it very personally. During COVID and quarantine, it really gave me the time to isolate and really think about why I was never truly happy. And although it took me a really long time of reflecting to kind of get to the root of the issue, it taught me that life rarely goes the way you want it to, even though that sounds cliche, but it is true, You can't control every aspect of your life, and it rarely goes how you expect it to. So I feel this is something that many people experience, and a lot of us can never figure out the root cause of their sadness or constant disappointment. So like I said before, during COVID, it really gave me that time to reflect and kind of develop my own definition of it, so I can better share it with other people. So my definition of it is when you constantly postpone your own happiness because you never learned how to enjoy life the way it is. You begin to create these scenarios that you feel will complete you and make you genuinely happy. And although these scenarios feel good in the moment, when things take a different turn, it can really have negative effects on your mental health, because you're constantly facing disappointment, right? Because life isn't going the way you expected it to. And so you start to kind of blame yourself, and you're always living in a future that doesn't exist because it kind of helps you escape from your present life. So that's just the gist of what I gathered. And so from creating a definition and becoming aware of the issue, I was able to kind of make steps of action. So naturally solving inner issues as big as toxic expectations is never easy, and it takes a lot of self-reflection. Personally, I feel like this is something that will take me a long time to really kind of get a grasp over and like beat it, you know. But however, I found that it helps to constantly remind myself that the future, in essence, will never exist. And although it may sound a bit cliche, when you learn to be grateful for the things you have in the present, you begin to take things one day at a time. And so it may be difficult at first to identify all the things that you are happy about in your current life. However, this will help you better enjoy the journey instead of the end result. So that's everything I have. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Wow, what powerful shares from these youth, and so timely as what they're talking about mental health issues and how they've been able to overcome some of the struggles that they've experienced, especially during the pandemic. I am going to turn it back over to Jyotsna for some final words and a short presentation from EYEJ.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation and especially the Youth Council's message. I just would like to do a short activity to encapsulate all the messages that were spoken today. So I will be sharing my screen. I wanted to speak to you today about what the important things are. And as a youth council, we've always made sure that important things come first. But this short activity will encapsulate why these important things truly matter. These balls represent the important things in life, from love, mom, dad, even your school education, are all what they represent. The rest of the small rocks are everything else that we add to life, such as entertainment, school, friends, sorry, not school, just friends, everything else that don't really matter, but just make your life 10 times better. However, what if we add those small things first and ignore the rest and add everything later? This is what happens. We can't even close our whole life together. We put unnecessary things first, and then we didn't encapsulate it with the important things. That's our whole message. We want to make sure that we grow ourselves first with the important things, then add everything else later. So we create a whole environment for ourselves where everything is combined rather than prioritizing the small things and ignoring the big things. That being said, That being said, I wanted to make sure that everyone understands the value of balance between self-care and the starting process of caring for others. As many have said, once you prioritize yourself, then you can start helping each other, like what the EYEJ Youth Council members do. You too can be a part of this refreshing process. You can visit eyej.org to see how you can join YODJ and be a part of the Youth Council members. We've seen that from my experiences, even the Youth Council experiences, EYEJ creates a positive environment for members of the community and themselves. Our goal is to make sure that we develop human-to-human connection and create a place where everyone grows and creates a environment where there's self-love. That being said, let's work together to create a powerful community and create a place where we can better ourselves. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you to all of you from EYEJ. We are so grateful to have you join us this morning and share your stories and insights and perspective. So we have a full program ahead of us today. I just want to share a couple of reminders. Again, refer to your email that you received from me for your program throughout the day. I do recognize that WebEx technology is new for many of you. And so I just encourage us all to be patient. Technology issues are happening all the time in this virtual world that we're living in. We have hosts for each of the breakout sessions that will help to minimize any of the difficult issues. They will be introducing themselves at the beginning of each of the breakout sessions. So feel free to chat them and reach out to them if you're having any technical difficulties. Again, students, middle school and high school students, please keep the virtual scavenger hunt questions close at hand and fill those out throughout the day. The best practice there is to maybe write down your answers on a separate sheet of paper or on a document on your computer, and then enter those after the event is over and submit your scavenger hunt results. I'm so grateful for all of you joining us this morning, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all at 11:20 again as we come to a close with our second and closing keynote. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions throughout the day. I am going to be popping in and out of sessions. Everyone should have my email address. It is included in the program for today. I'll say one final thing before we close for the morning and I dismiss you to your sessions. The Conflict Resolution Youth Symposium has been around for 4 years now. I mentioned that earlier. And each year we've really focused on leadership, conflict resolution, and social justice. One of the things that we were very intentional about this year is kind of stepping back from leadership and social justice in an overt way. And even the conflict resolution portion of our program is less than it has been in years past. Because what really matters, in order for us to do the work of social change and being leaders and resolving conflict in our communities, we have to take care of ourselves first. And so today's program hopefully will provide you all with some insights, some new resources and perspectives that can help you do that self-care so that you can be resilient and be leaders for social change in your communities, in your schools, and among your family. So thank you all. And with that, I refer to you all to your programs for your next breakout session. Have a great day, and I will be seeing you throughout the morning. Be well.